much like in my previous video, I've actually not got on a train to get here today. Littleton Route 495 is my location rather than destination. But at the same time, there are trains. Okay, now that I have firmly got your attention with a train, may I formally welcome you and introduce you to Littleton Route 495 station. One of only 3 stations on the network that have a number in them, if I'm not mistaken. Littleton Route 495 here, Forge Park 495. The 495 is relevant to the Interstate 495 road, and Route 128. And I think if you're being really finicky, the Middleborough Lakeville station also is called something like Middleborough Route 3, or used to be, but not anymore. All the same, I'm here to give you a little tour of this place. So I'm going to make my way down to the platform now, and it might be a little loud down there because that train you just saw is standing on the platform. But hey, that's not a bad thing. I quite like it if it's still there when I get down. Let's walk. Okay, I won't give you the full guided tour of this place just for the time being here at Littleton Route 495. But that is only because this train, as you saw a moment ago, is still in the platform and will remain here until 3:01 PM, when it will form service 420 going back towards North Station. This, of course, is the schedule effective May 22nd, 2023, and that by chance is today. I'm not sure when this video is going to get uploaded, but hello and welcome from May 22nd, 2023, and here I am. So once this has gone at 3:01, I'll have about 24 minutes until my actual train back towards Fitchburg, that being the 325 service, train 419. So in the meantime, I'm going to showcase a certain feature here that reminds me a bit of a station back home. That being a station I've mentioned before on previous videos, and that being Haddenham and Tame Parkway. Because prior to today, I've not actually set foot on this station, and something struck me when I came down to the platform just now. So let me show you what that is. Oh, and also, it's now May 22nd, and we don't need this on the platform. We've got winter out of the way now, I'm quite confident, so we don't need the salt. That's probably going to stay there until next winter, which is fair enough. Anyway, let me show you this thing. The ramp down to the platform. Let's walk. Again. Okay, as you can see behind me, I have just started the walk up this ramp. And I'm going to try my best to not necessarily ramble on, but I want to showcase just how long this is and actually give you a timing point and a focal point of how long this ramp is. The great benefit of this station is that it is entirely handicap accessible. And because it's so long, what I also found really quite cute is the fact that there is a bench halfway up this part of the ramp. So if it's a little too much to walk in one go, which is perfectly understandable if it is, you can stop, take a rest there, and carry on. And in the time it's taken for me to explain that part of it, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you that there are also benches here. So if you want to stop again, perfect, right here. And then carry on around the corner, and even more ramp. Not a single stair involved in getting to and from the platform to the parking lot, which is thoroughly impressive, but my goodness, that is a long way to get from the station frontage down to the platform itself. I'm not complaining. I think it's fantastic that it is as handicap accessible as it is. But this section of video has been running now for well over a minute and a half, and I've only just made it to the station front. I was also expecting to see elevators here, and I now understand that that's not necessary. You don't need them anywhere. But now I'm in the parking lot, I may as well showcase the parking here. Also, the train's still in the background, just because it's a nice shot, that's all. I know there's a tree in the way, but never mind. Anyway, where were we? Welcome to one of the two halves of parking at this station. There are two parking lots adjacent to each other, and I am in what is, by consequence, the higher of the two. And this is perhaps the most free that I have felt at any given point in any of my videos. So I'm going to make the most of this and go, woo! Look at that panorama, look at that! Plenty of space for plenty of cars, and this is also, I believe, the closest station, as the name suggests, to Interstate 495. Forge Park 495 is very close, and there are a number of stations along the route that are close by to 495, but I think Littleton 495 is the closest of the lot. I know that the Haverhill line passes through it near Lawrence. The Forge Park station obviously here, Littleton Route 495. Middleborough Lakeville is very close to it as well, but I think this is the closest to the lot. And in fact, you probably saw it already on that shot, but when I say that the parking lot is split into two, where I was the first time round is the main parking lot closer to the ramp. As you can see, you might just about be able to make out the cars in the distance on, indeed, Route 495. We also cross over very, very close here to Route 2, which takes you from Boston east to west along the northern part of Massachusetts, and indeed going through Fitchburg itself, where I live. But this is a fantastically located station and connects you from very many places that are or are not served by train. If you need this as what we Brits call as a parkway station, I know none better than this. This is perfect. So now I've got the parking bit out of the way, let me go and highlight a few more features of this station according to the usual checklist, inspired by one Jeff Marshall that I like to use. So one thing that I'm sure you've appreciated by now in terms of travelling by train on the MBTA Commuter Rail network is that in outlying stations across the network you cannot buy tickets before you board. So to answer the usual question of is there a ticket machine or ticket buying facilities, the answer is no. But you've seen in previous videos as well, for Wachusett and North Leominster in particular, that you can buy tickets to facilitate parking. That is not the case here, but there is this. A big board explaining what you need to do in order to advance pay for your parking. And we use a system here called Pay by Phone. And you quite simply go onto the Pay by Phone website or app, you find this 4-digit number, type it in, Littleton Route 495 comes up on a list, you select it, you pay for your parking by card, you're done. Alternatively, you can park up at this station and be billed as per most other stations on the network, and it's a $6 charge here if you choose to use the Pay by Phone facility. And I'm also going to say something here about weekend parking, because it's just $2. And in conjunction with our promotion of $10 weekend tickets, those being tickets that allow you to travel across the entire network, not just one line, not just one day, both days of the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, across all the lines that we run, you buy a $10 flat rate ticket and you go anywhere you like in those 2 days. So if you have a car and you just want to rock up and ride some trains for a bit, the whole package, everything, costs you $12. You pay $2 in advance to park here, you pay your $10 to get on the train, and that's it. Done. And that to me is quite an incredible deal. The $10 on its own is fantastic. The $2 to spend to park here is a small little bit on top that is very simple to manage. I'm sorry I'm looking through the parking lot again through the grid this time, but hey, I'm walking up the ramp habitually. But I think it's amazing. So yeah, small promotion there for our $10 weekend fares. Get on board. Seriously, commuter rail takes you places, not just work. Other facilities now, including bicycle parking. Bicycle parking? You bet. Kind of self-explanatory, you can see it right there, but I showcased this as well at Wachusett Station before, where they have a couple of racks of bicycle parking, and each of these 3 racks can accommodate up to 8 bicycles. So to answer your question, yeah, 24 bikes by my count. Plenty. So, what else have we got? I haven't seen any help features here, but if I see it on the station when I go down there now, station, platform, we're at the station already. The whole caboodle, everything about it. This is the station. I'm very excited to be here. Seriously, I am. But yeah, let me head down now. We are gonna see out this 301 train shortly, and then I will summarise the rest of the facilities at this station, and indeed a potted history of the station itself, because as you might have been able to tell, this is, again, much like North Leominster, much like Wachusett on this line, relatively modern in the grand scheme of things. I might as well utilise this bench for a little bit and tell you a little more about this station before the train goes out at 301. So this, as you can see by now, and the pattern of previous videos, this is a part of the Fitchburg Line, which in turn was part of the Boston Main Railroad, and the station, along with most of the Fitchburg Line, opened in the 1840s. But the original site of this station was actually about 1.5 miles away in West Littleton, and it was only when the MBTA took over the running of the railroad here that a new station opened up in 1980 on this site. Now, in 1975, service was resumed along the line, but not here, and indeed not at the West Littleton station, because it was not quite in the same range as the likes of Silver Hill that I've shown you before, but it wasn't the most accessible and user-friendly of stations. It had barely any parking. The users' ridership wasn't that great, so they were without service for a few years until this place opened in 1980. However, the station itself, as we know it now, the exact formation of it, was not opened until about 10 years ago in 2013, when the parking, as you've seen before, was expanded. The island platform was opened up. As you saw when I came down on the platform, the track was doubled from the previous single track offering that we had up here. It's worth noting that trains used to turn at South Acton station, slightly east of here, instead of coming all the way to Littleton, but now Littleton is the preferred destination for safekeeping of trains, turning trains, precisely why there is a train right here at the moment. This is now a comparatively thriving parkway station, or off-road station. I'm not sure what kind of, even now I don't know what kind of term is used for what we would call a parkway station in the UK, because this is by no means a parkway here. But it's a very useful station, absolutely fantastically located, and long may it continue to thrive. We're approaching 3 o'clock now, so if you don't mind, I'm going to head on down to the platform and see this train out. Okay, now that's gone. Dot matrix signage? Yes, we do. Yeah, I'm not sure why I show that, because I always know that it's not gonna show up properly, but there it is. But what I do like about this station, and you certainly don't see this everywhere, is a little potted history of the station on boards. So let's take a look at them. A group of townspeople at the Littleton depot in 1906, including some of the oldest inhabitants. Image right. There they are. As above here, Irving Smith's harness shop stood at the corner of Taylor Street and Wickham Avenue, across from the Littleton depot. The depot building on Taylor Street was built in 1879. It also housed a post office, public telephone and telegraph office. The Thatcher and Island store on the corner of Taylor Street and Sanderson Road opened in 1907. It originally stood on the opposite side of the tracks. The North Littleton depot served the Stony Brook line of the Boston and Maine from 1848 to 1928. It was located off Great Road near the Groton town line. And that's just half of it. I'm not going to spoil it for the rest of what's on that right hand side. You know what? Come on down. There's my invite. Come on down to this station. Not just for the $10 weekend fares, but because little gems like that do exist here. And in fact, look, didn't even think about this, but look, there's even more. So consider that one a little preview. This is a really nice little touch at this station, because not just for me, but I think taking a moment to consider the heritage of places like this and what the railroads meant to people both in the age of commuting and way back then is important. I think knowing what was here and certainly comparing it to what is here now is fascinating as a minimum. So yeah, I want to be on the search for more of those now across the network. I'm sure there are some. Whether it's the responsibility of local historical societies or whether or not that is placed here in conjunction with the commuter rail, I don't know, but I now want to look into this a little bit more. I love little unplanned things like this, things I didn't know about a station and things I now want to know about other stations. It's that fascination, it's that curiosity that keeps me going. It's why I love doing these videos. So you know what, I felt really humble being here already, so thank you for, I'm not even done with this video yet, but thank you for taking the time to watch it. Thank you for taking the time to watch any and all of my videos, because this makes it well worth it. It really does. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna sit around now, soak it all up. Look, there's so much greenery around here. You would not think that we are literally 100 yards from one of the most important roads in the entire state of Massachusetts. Lovely place. Seriously lovely place. One final point at this station. Help points, haven't seen any. Again, like I said, for the ticket machines, things like that, not really that much of a thing like they are at stations in the UK. But one thing I can help with is showing you whereabouts we are, and that is Littleton 495. This was probably more sensible to go in at the start of the video, but hey, you've got it now. We are 6 stations in from the origin points of Wachusett on this line. So we go Wachusett, Fitchburg, North Leominster, Shirley, Ayr and Littleton 495. That then continues on the Fitchburg Line, going all the way through to North Station. That's this episode of Royce on the Rails, all done here at Littleton Route 495. Loco's coming in now, and I'll bid you farewell. See you again soon.